Good morning. This is Guild Daddy D, Mr. D, or just plain D, coming at you with a video today. It's going to be a long format. We're going to talk about hunting. There is not a lot of information about hunting in Black Desert out there. Well, let's rewind. There is a lot of information, but there's a lot of very shallow, not really intuitive, not really intelligent information out there. So, we're going to record this video today off the cuff just to kind of go through hunting. Let's say you're a new player and you don't know about hunting. Let's say you're a veteran player and you're like, you know what? I want to try a little bit of life skilling. Let's say you've tried hunting, but you don't know where to go with it. This is going to serve as a kind of beginning to end, novice to veteran hunting guide. I've done hunting now for years, even when it used to not make any money. Spoiler alert, it makes a lot of money now. So here we'll just dive into it. Basically, for those of you who are new to the game, hunting, there's life skills in the game. The easiest way to kind of tell what it is you can hit L in your processing menu. That kind of gives you a hint. Or if you hit P and you look here, these are all the life skills, right? You got gathering, fishing, hunting, blah, blah, blah. So hunting is unique in that it actually combines, it's got its own category, right? So, okay, I'm a hunter, Guru 2, that. But also you're going to want butchering. Butchering is where when you're hunting, you're going to get bloods, you're going to get skins, and you're going to get meats. This is the primary way to get raw materials for things like cooking or alchemy, right? So there's saps in the game, that's a whole nother story, but with hunting, you're kind of combining a couple different life skills. You're going to shoot things with your matchlock, and that uses your hunting life skill. But then you're going to either be fluid collecting if you want bloods for alchemy, or butchering if you want meats for cooking. You can also tan to get hides, but who does that really? I mean, there's so few things in the game that actually require hides that I'm really not going to cover it. If when you get your life skill, that's the tanning knife. That's what you need. Um, your butchering knife is what you need to go after the meats, and the fluid collector is what you need for the bloods. So let's start off at the beginning. Let's say you're new to hunting, you're new to life skilling, you really don't know what to do. There's a few different options. The first thing is if you talk to your Black Spirit and you go over here to guide, you're going to have your leap quests, right? So these I would highly recommend. If you haven't done the hunting leap one, I would recommend doing all of them just to get extra XP. But you start off with your hunting one. It should just jump you right up to skilled. But the reason why that's important is you're going to need that to equip different matchlocks, which is the hunting weapon. The hunting weapon is called a matchlock, and you have to be a certain level. You can see a hunting matchlock that can be used from Hunting Artisan 10 to equip the higher grade matchlocks. When you're first starting, you'll get I believe it's called a beginner matchlock, and you can get that by either going into the progression pass up on the top of your screen and going to hunting. And if you get 8 of these done, you'll get this beginner hunter's matchlocks. And you see hunting damage 2100. You can get that for free just by doing 8 of the different hunting butchering things here. Or you can go to, and I'm trying to think if I remember correctly, I believe it's the same place right here as Daphne Delushi. And yeah, and you can rent a practice matchlock for 2 contribution points. So when you do that quest, when you go to Delucia Farms, which is way up here in Valencia, I think actually think she's in the Belenos Forest node. Let's see, probably. Let's see if I can. Oh, it's not gonna let me hover over her. Yeah, she's in the Belenos Forest. I remember it. So what she's gonna have you do is rent the matchlock, equip it, and when you equip it, it's gonna unequip your weapon, and then you're going to be standing there like this, and you just right click to reload the weapon, okay? And then down on the bottom of your screen, if you see here, you see I have 4 bullets. I'm a guru, but you'll have 3 bullets, and she's going to have you run around the forest in Belenos Forest shooting at bees nests. um, so all around over here by this node, there's going to be bees nests, and as well as there's going to be a few bears up there. You're going to find some boars, that's the most important thing about hunting, especially if you're new to it, is identifying your targets. If you see this rhino right next to me, his name says wild. Anything that says wild is a hunting target. If you go up and attack him with your weapon, you're not going to be able to kill him. But if you equip your matchlock, that's when you're going to be able to kill him. So now that you have a matchlock and you can start shooting things, you can do a few different things. You can either A, go up here to Olvia, and there's a bunch of hunting quests up around here, specifically right here with Chuck Lorre. Make sure my mouse cursor is showing up. Yeah, Chuck Lorre. He's kind of the old school hunting pathway guy. He'll give you a bunch of quests. There's a bunch of things that you can hunt around him. There's some bears up there. There's some elk. There's some boar. Or if you just kind of want to fast track yourself, there's wolves and stuff around Velia that have the wild icon above their head. Or you get yourself a beginner matchlock by doing your progression pass, right? You got yourself that. You can enhance it, get up to a plus 10, and then you can come down here to rhinos. So rhinos are in Narcion, they're in Odraxia. If you don't know how to get here, and if you're a newer player, you could just kind of get yourself to Old Wisdom Tree, and then just kind of right click over here, and it'll just bring you down here. But Narcion is kind of like the low key, relaxed, and I'm hesitant to use the word best, but it is one of the most chill spots to get your XP, especially if you have forever pots. And that's something I'll touch on right now. When you are hunting, if you are new, you're gonna want you're not gonna have, the best hunting gear, right? You're gonna have, and you see this gives a DP of 259. I don't even know what Legia's gives, but we'll talk about getting Legia gear. Let's see, Legia Hunter's Clothes. It gives you 6 DP. So these animals do attack you when you shoot them. So the object of the game is to shoot them and mitigate damage, and that is why you want better and better gear. But if you start off up here in Velia, if you go to Legia Farms here, Legia Farms, the girl inside of the farm sells all of the Legia gear, which is the green life skill gear. And you can buy yourself a set of hunting clothes, and you can buy yourself the accessories, and just kind of tap it up as high as you can get it, and that'll give you some DP to protect yourself when you're hunting. So when you start off up here, you might want to actually go over here to Olvia by Chuck Lorre and practice shooting on some bears and some elk and stuff. If you think that that's easy and you want to give yourself even more of a challenge, up here around Euphoria Ridge, north of Portophiria, there's some higher level wolves that you can go after and get yourself to the point where you have maybe a Manos hunting clothes, just to give yourself enough DP to survive in the higher level hunting areas. And like I said, you're not going to have the pre-owned rings right away. And if you do, guys, if you just want to buy this stuff, if you're a veteran player and you want to get into life skilling, by all means, get yourself up to duos. Um, but you're gonna want some DP before you start hunting lions or rhinos because they do hurt. And especially having your forever pot, it makes it so much easier because you don't have to worry about managing your health. So going into the equipment as well, there's also hunting bags. Hunting bags give you additional mastery, which if we look in our P menu for hunting, it says, okay, so your hunting mastery also lets you use certain matchlocks. So if you get your mastery up above, let's say 400, you could just buy an artisan matchlock off the central marketplace and equip it. And then it also increases your chances to get rare resources when you're hunting. Those are what you're after, right? Specifically. Yes, you're going to get your meats and your bloods for your other cooking or just for income. But really what you're after, specifically like down here in Narcion, you're after these, I don't have any actually. Let's see if I have any in the marketplace. They're called Breaths of Narcion. I don't have any. But Breath of Narcion right here. Those are worth 25 million apiece. And very often when I get those to drop, I'll get 3 or 4 at a time. You're not going to get these all the time. You might get them once or twice during an hour grind down here. But very often, I come down here and regularly earn 750, 800 million an hour, no problems. You can go upwards when you're getting higher level masteries and stuff. If you go up to Land of the Morning Light, there is a up here by right here, Sangoon and Amuchi. You'll see this sniper hunting region, Wild Game Preserve. If you go up there with a sniper hunter, you can make 1.2, 1.4 million an hour casually. And when I say casually, I mean like hunting is really chill. Like I'll just show you. We'll just shoot at a rhino just so you guys can see the mechanics. So I reloaded my gun by right mouse button. I could either just start shooting at this rhino, or you can hit Q and crouch down, which increases my range. I like to go long range because then it gives them less time to shoot it or to attack me. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have to reload. 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's attacking me this whole time, so there we go, and he's dead. Now he's dead. Now I go up to him with my butcher knife and hit R, and that's what I got. So you can see you get meat, you get blood, you get skins, you get fire horns, you get hunting XP, and then you get wild sparks. Wild sparks are kind of like the byproduct that you get from doing life skills. You turn these in. I always turn mine in for hunting XP and contribution, but you could turn them in for black gem fragments and spirit pouches of ferocious beasts. So the other nice thing about hunting is this is where you are going to get, as you just saw, your black gem fragments. You can get black gems, and more importantly, you can get, the higher level you are, you can get concentrated magical black gems. So that is the other big revenue stream on these. So I actually have some of these right here. So these are worth 18 million a piece, and as you see, I have 137 of them. I actually sell them or use them quite regularly. It's not uncommon for me to end up with 10 or 15 of those at the end of a hunting session. And you're also going to get Caphras. So the predominant money maker when you're hunting is going to be your Caphras and your magical black gems, as well as any sharps that you're going to get. The meat, I use all my meat for cooking. I don't use any of my blood. I just sell it. I'm not an alchemy guy. Sorry, a little too much brain power. But going, so now you've got basic Legia gear. You have your basic matchlock. You've decided that you're going to start hunting in Velia. It's a simple life skill, right? It's very calm. Very often I'll just pop in like, some sort of playlist on YouTube or something, or SoundCloud or something, and I'll just sit here and chill and jam. And instead of running around in a circle killing mobs, I'll just sit here and just shoot rhinos or shadow lions. Now, shadow lions are a little bit more of a difficult hunting thing. They take less damage from your matchlock. They do more damage to you. But as you go down through it and as you progress up the thing, the chain of hunting, different mobs are going to pay different. I would not suggest hanging out in Velia and Kelfion for very long. You're only going to make 30, 40, 50, 60 million an hour. But once you get down to Narcion, some of the other hunting spots a lot of people go to are lions over in Encato Harbor, which is over here by Valencia. You can hunt snakes over here in Bassi Den for snake meat, and scorpion meat. There's a very high demand for these meats because a lot of people do a lot of cooking. So let's just see, snake. So snake meat right now, it sells for 37,000. There's 140,000 pre-orders. Let's do scorpion. Scorpion meat, same thing, 37,000. There is 250,000 pre-orders. Lion meat, which is something I very often do. That's 37,000, and there is 136,000 pre-orders. And just rhino meat's been weird. Like a lot of people never did this, and then a lot of people have started doing this. So this is only 15,000, and there's 8,000 on the market. So I use rhino meat just because it's easy for me and it's very chill down here. If you're doing this for money, you could just type in meat and just sort it by average exchange price. So blue whale meat is another type of hunting I'll talk about in a minute. Yeah, snake meat and lion meat are right up there. So if you really wanted to, you can get into hunting and just start going down Kato Harbor. There is a rotation It's, well, there's a couple different rotations, but they're usually right up here on the cliffs, anywhere east or west of Atlas Farmland or west of Encanto Inner Harbor. And possibly I'll put out some micro videos of actual hunting spots besides just standing here in Narcion and show you guys this. But the other thing you can do with hunting is you can hunt, and this is not something that's going to make you a ton of money, but there are a lot of quests that require them, is the Farika feathers, right? So over here by Old Wisdom Tree, out in the field here, there's all the Farikas. You can actually use your butcher knife to butcher them, or tanning knife to get feathers from them. So some of the other things that you might see is you're going to see, and this is kind of another revenue stream, when you're hunting, you'll get teeth or you'll get hides. These teeth and hides can be used to actually make furniture for the house that actually give people buffs. So I have some right here, like this master stuffed grass rhino head is worth 28 million. The reason why I'm holding on to it is because you can actually enhance that again. And let's see, the master stuffed special stuffed grass rhino head goes for 219 million. So you will get quite a few, and depending on what you're hunting, you might get wolf heads, you might get rhino heads, you might get lion heads. Like I have lion heads right here. I don't typically hunt wolves, but there are just east of me and north of me, there's a bunch of shadow wolves that a lot of people hunt for the wolf meat. So there are a lot of different revenue streams, and as you become more proficient in hunting and learn a little bit more about it, you'll kind of see where the income tree branches out with this. Not only that, but if you're interested in getting into other life skills, this is where you're going to get a lot of your raw materials. So for, let's see, some of the other areas you can go for are like, there's mountain sheep, right? A lot of people hunt mountain sheets either over in Dregan by Duvenkroon. Those, I've never gone over there. I can't give you an idea for income. I can only tell you what I've done. By far the best money I've made is with lions over in Encanto. That's, 8, 900 million an hour. Over here, like I said, I'm happy with my 750 million per hour just because it's very chill for me. Um, a lot of people hunt these once in a while. They'll come over here and get these deer in Narcion just for the heads because the combat buff is something that a lot of people desire. When you are hunting, two of the biggest stats you're going to be looking for on your battle stats are critical hit and back attack, right? So you're always going to want a back attack, and you're always going to want to make sure your crit is at 5. And you pop buffs to get your crit hit rate either up or your crit hit or back attack damage up. So, and just to kind of demonstrate, like this rhino here will shoot him in the head, boom, and it does that little bit of damage. But if I go behind him and shoot him, there's a crit. And it's gonna take you some getting used to. There's a back attack. Like by back attacking, like I'm almost taking a third or a quarter of him when I back attack, and you're gonna get to the point, especially when you are like lazy like me and you have plenty of DP and these things aren't hurting you, where you're just gonna sit still and let it run back and forth through you. But you're really gonna want to make sure your crit hit rate's at 5, and your yeah, okay, there you go. I get to demonstrate this. And your back attack damage as high as possible. So as you can see, that is the second rhino I killed just messing around, and I just got 4 Breath of Narcions. So that's 100 million. So literally just playing around with you guys, I procced Breath of Narcions. So Breath of Narcions, for those of you who are unaware of why they sell for so much, use that to craft the Master Matchlock. So those people that get to that level where you want a Master Matchlock, yes, I have 2 of them. Or actually I have the Gouch Master Matchlock, which is a whole nother ball game. But the Master Matchlock is something you can use from Artisan 10, and the different matchlocks just give you bonus damage. So also another thing I want to talk about while looking at this item list here is you notice how I have double drops, right? So one of the most important aspects of hunting is having a hedgehog. If you do not have a hedgehog, there are very few things in this game that I recommend swiping for. This is one of them. Bite the bullet. If you have any interest in life skilling at all, the hedgehog, where it shines is when you use it while life skilling, it has a chance to double your gatherables, right? So if you're procking and you're going and doing weeds and harvesting plants for alchemy, if you're doing hunting, if you're going and getting saps and sharps from doing trees, even if you're just cutting down logs and trees for logs and lumber, highly recommend. I would dare say that if you're doing life skilling without the hedgehog, you're doing it wrong. You might as it drastically increases your profit. So, as you can see, you can actually make quite a bit of money just by chillily grinding down here. A few of the specialty huntings are up here. Let's see if we see any floating around. No, there is no whale up right now, but every now and again you'll see a whale, and there will be a server message of a whale going up along through Portaferia all the way over to like Ilya Island. And there's actually groups of people that meet and jump on guild galleys and go and hunt it. Somebody drives a boat while everybody else is in front of the boat with matchlocks, and they shoot the whale. And it's, let's see if I can show you a picture of the furniture. We're going to, I think it's one of the coolest pieces of furniture in the game. And I'm going to throw it up on the screen. Let me just save it here to my PC. You can get different furniture for your manor from this stuff, and we're going to add an image. Okay, browse. Thank you for the patience, guys. So that's a picture of the whale furniture that you can get from doing the whale hunting. And you get other things too. You get like whale blubber, or what is it called? I don't even remember. Whale tendies, I think they're called. Let's see, purchase whale. Whale tendon potions you can get from it. You can get the blue whale wall decoration. That's worth 620 million. So there's actually 6 of them on the market. So if you just find it cool and want to buy it for your manor, that's awesome. I think it's just cool looking. I mean, yeah, sailing mastery plus 100 for 4 hours. Some of you might be like, big whoop-de-doo, but it's just cool looking and it's huge. You get the blue whale meat and the blue whale oil from it. Those are worth quite a bit of money. You can get the blue whale molar, which is I mean, they sell for 8 million. Nobody really uses the blue whale molar earrings anymore, I don't think. Um, so there's just a lot of drops, and it's fun to get together with. It's actually group content, so that's always a good thing. So that's the whale furniture. Going down through to, let's see, we covered reloading, we covered the matchlock, we covered the butcher's knife, gathering item drop rate versus item drop rate. So that is something I should cover. So for those of you who are veterans of the game, you understand that your item collection increase drops like more trash loot. There is a such thing as, let's see if I have them on. Gathering mastery, gathering item drop rate. So this is going to be a stat that it's going to be pretty hard to get these artifacts, but you can actually use foods or elixirs or artifacts or light stones to get a higher gathering item drop rate. This will increase what percentage chance you have of getting the rare drops from hunting. So that is something you want to consider as you progress deeper and deeper into hunting to increase your chances to make more and more money. Gathering Mastery does not affect hunting. The item drop rate and the item drop amount from scrolls has no effect. Agris Fever also does not affect hunting. As far as butcher's knives, let's say you're just starting, you could just grab the Logia butcher knife from Logia Farms. Another thing is some of you guys might have I don't know if I have any in here. Every now and again they give out these I think they're called Demi-Hair Life Toolboxes. I have a whole bunch. You can always pop those off. I believe they're the equivalent for a duo or a tri-mano set, but they're time gated, so I think they last a week. So if you have any of those, let's say you're a returning player and you have these laying around, you can always pop these and give yourself, a buff to your life skills. And then, other than that, if you do get into hunting, one thing I will highly suggest is during an event or during certain in-game times, you can get brand stones. I don't even know if I have any on this toon right now, but once you get into hunting big time, you're going to want to brand your butcher knife and then brand your matchlocks. And what that does is that basically gives you double the durability, because you will find that every time you hunt, that durability will go down to that matchlock. And every time you use your butcher knife, that durability will go down. So if you don't own a tent already, it's gonna be like this is the swipiest video ever. But I would highly recommend getting the tent if you're gonna seriously consider life skilling, because you can literally just repair in the field. Pop your tent, hit repair, and now the durability of my matchlock is back up to 200, and everything's repaired. So if you're gonna seriously consider life skilling, and by seriously considering, I mean like, hey, I'm gonna go try it this weekend to see if I like it. No, don't swipe for that. But if this is something where you come down here and you're like, I really like the chill game style, and I really like the chill playability of it, and coming down here, listening to some music, possibly watching a movie off the side of your peripheral vision or whatever, and just coming down here and just shooting at things, it's a completely different play style than what most players are used to with Black Desert. So, but if you do decide that this is something that you're going to do long term, Hedgehog, check. Tent, check. So, brand stones, you'll get those during events. You don't have to spend you don't have to swipe for those. Um, the other thing is, I've covered this in my other videos, but if you are a life skill and you do click this, the green thumb buff, which is up here, you may get the hunting mini game. And I haven't got one of those in a while. Actually, no, the hunting mini game I don't think pops up anymore. You get the different quests. You may get the different quests that give you bonus hunting materials while you're hunting. So you might get a kill 10, kill 50, kill 100, whatever it is. Very often, if you're down here in Narcion, it will give you the quest to go up here and kill the shadow wolves, which are just either right here or down in here, and that's pretty easy. You just run over there and kill them. And then the other things to cover are, let's see, right mouse button. You can shift left, shift right, shift forward, lets you run. The most important one I would say is just crouch down. Like, if you could see right now, there's no reticle over that line over there. I cannot shoot it, but if I hit Q, I can shoot it. And that just gives you that much more time before it actually hits you, so I could actually hit it from right here. That's a significant distance. And so the whole time they're going to run at you, you can shoot, unload, reload, and then shoot again, as opposed to just face tanking it, especially when you're starting out. Like, that was one of the hardest things for me when I first started hunting, is I just decided to come down here and try my luck with these guys, like, with nothing, like +1 Legia gear. I got my butt handed to me, because these things do actually a lot of damage. So for a while there, I was hunting with actually my combat gear on. But just spend some time, throw some black stones. I mean, I don't even know, as of right now, recording this video, I don't know if anybody sells Legias anymore. Yeah, there's 57 on the market. So you can buy this pen right here for 4 billion. Or, I mean, let's say you wanted to, well, I mean, at that point, yeah. If you wanted to buy a try, that's got 224 DP. Where you're going to be lacking is, you see the hunting XP. So I get 30%, the Legia gives 15. Hunting mastery, 300 versus 130. Movement speed. So, you're looking for the DP, yes, but especially when you're leveling up, you want to make sure that you have a full set of gear. You want, as the best life skill accessories you can buy, and there's Legia accessories too that you could probably buy. Let's see, Legia. You have Legia necklaces at TET for 193 million. And it sounds like a lot of money. If, let's say, you have a billion just sitting there, or you're one of the newer players that just started the game, and I think you guys end up with 10 billion silver at the end. This is something where you're going to make your money back. Then again, you have to ask yourself, okay, what's my playstyle? Do I like running around killing mobs with my main hand weapon in a circle for an hour, and you'll make a couple 100 million an hour when you're first starting out? Later on, your income potential goes through the roof to where places in Adania and stuff are getting 2-3 billion an hour. This is going to be your consistent, I need a break from PvE grinding. I'm going to go and shoot things. Like, I don't hunt every day. I used to. Once I got to Guru, I kind of chilled out quite a bit on it. Just, but this is going to be consistent money. Every time I come down here, I expect 700 million, no problem. And when I get done with the hour, very often instead of saying, "Man, I need a break," this is something where I'm like, you know what, I could do a second hour because it really wasn't that bad. So that's what hunting has done for me. I use this as my I need a break from other things in the game. It's completely different, etc., etc. So as far as one of the other thing is you can shoot from the back of a horse, and there is an actual boss. Some of you might have seen that fugitive Calk message that comes up. Calk. It's always hard to pronounce his name. It's like a big gargoyle thing that flies around. There's one that spawns in, I believe it's Duvengrun? No, I think it's Medaya. There's one that spawns in Medaya and another one that spawns in Kelfion down here by Trent. And you actually follow the dude around. He's flying up in the air and you're on horseback. And the whole time you're on horseback, you're actually reloading and shooting your matchlock. So there's actual hunting bosses as well as, you know, hunting content in this game. I think it's a little more developed than the other life skills, which is another reason why I think some people are drawn to it. Speaking of hunting bosses, when you come to a zone like Narcion, as you're killing these rhinos or lions, every now and again it'll say something like, oh, you hear a thunder's roar and the king of the beast appears. And you'll see a mob that looks just like the lions or just like the rhinos show up, but it'll say something like king of the rhinos or king of the lions. They're super easy to kill. They're just like the rhinos and lions here or in other areas, but they just give additional loot. So it's quite a developed life skill, and I appreciate it because it does give me that break from other content in the game. And then I don't think there's much else to cover. I will show you that there's different mechanics for different mobs. So like, let's say we hunt these lions. Let's see, right here. We're going to shoot him, and you'll see. Let's see if he does it. So he just basic attack, and then he does that, and then he'll do this roar where it stuns you, it CCs you. So he's still going. I don't want to kill him. I want him to do it. There we go. He backs up, and then he roars, and it stunned me. Now it interrupted my reload, so if you're hunting, you just got to be prepared, and they actually do quite a bit of damage. So just know that every different hunting mob might have different CC mechanics. They might have different rotations. As you can see, the different lions, they give lion meat, blood, lion hide, and my hedgehog procced again. So, and I got Caphras at times. So it's actually a really good way to just supplement your income and give yourself a break from grinding. Maybe you're grinding treasure pieces or whatever. Um, some of the things you might want to do for your crystals, like right now on this tune on my transfusion, I just have mastery. So I have crit hit +2 and then life skill mastery. But you might want to put some black magic crystal assassins in there for +10 crit damage or +10 back attack damage. Other than that, just like I said, make sure your crit hit is 100%. Like, I can't stress that enough. Make sure you got this at 5. If you don't, you can use your guild passive buffs. Ask your guild officer or guild leader to pop. Um, let's see which buff it is. Well, you can always pop knowledge, but they're going to want to accuracy, AP, max. Are there, am I totally mistaken? Gathering, fishing, trade. I might be mistaken. You might not be able to get crit from guild. I thought you could. I know you can get one of these, but it might just be the fishing and gathering. But if not, just pop yourself. If you look at any life skill buff like seafood cron meal, this would be horrible to have because it doesn't have crit. But if you look at your other meals, special Balanos meal, that's not going to be good. Looking for simple cron meal. That will give crit hit damage plus 5% and crit hit plus 2. So that would be something that would definitely be, considered using this. This is crit hit plus 2, crit hit and back attack damage. So Exquisite Cron Meal would actually be very good. Um, does the, let's see. I don't think the Verdure Drought gives crit at all. And these are all things I'll talk about here in a second. Now that just gives you life skill. So as you're grinding up, you're gonna want to pop all your life buffs as well. As you can see, when I was leveling this tune, I had a whole bunch. So every day you get your Mercenary Life skill that gives you life experience plus 50%. You could do a Verdure Drought that I just talked about, and that gives you, I believe it's 20%. Yeah, life experience plus 20%. Gatherings plus 3 is going to be huge. Weight limit's going to be huge because you'd be surprised on how fast the weight for the meat goes up along with the blood and everything else. If you want to process your Verdure Droughts into the Magical Drought to give you your 60 minute, it's the same thing. And then whenever you're life skilling, you can just, go through your pets here, and you're going to want to make sure they have the life experience plus 4%. And if you do have any pets with the weight, that definitely comes in handy. But that's about it as far as hunting goes. Some of the best spots, like I said, are wolves in between Portaferia and Olivia to start out. But really, Feather Wolves used to be one of the best places, and I think that would still be a good place to level up. Feather Wolves are over here, west of Hollow Forest and Miramok Ruins along the edge of the mountains over here. That used to be the OP place to go hunting, but really, unless you're using it just to quickly level, if you can't handle the grass rhinos, I would say probably just stick with Narcion here. Get your Legia gear up, get your beginning match lock up. It's going to be very quick to get to probably artisan or professional. So if you look, let's see what's on. I can spell match lock. Yeah, so you can get an artisan match lock very easily, and all you need to do is hunting professional 10 or with at least hunting mastery 400. So you'll probably be able to get to 400 mastery super easy by just getting your Legia gear. I mean, I'm at 1900. I don't, is considering what we say that Trilogia gear was 130, so and then you throw on some base or duo accessories, you'll hit that. So get yourself an artisan match lock. It's only 496,000. It's disgustingly cheap. Or if you want to just wait and get yourself a master match lock. The thing about the master match lock, some of you might have noticed it said Gouch. So you can make a master match or a master match lock with the Breath of Narcion. Then you can enhance it with Rarrar's Heart. Rarrar is a hunting specific world boss, or field boss, we should say. He is a large rhino, and he drops his heart and his, let's see, Rarrar's Heart. We'll just do a search. So that's 2 billion silver. And what that does is it reforms your master matchlock to give you double the durability. So that is really the huge part of hunting, is otherwise you're going to be finding yourself needing to repair every 15 minutes or so. So just concentrate on getting your mastery up, get yourself as good of, I mean, I would say if you have that blue matchlock, you could probably come down here and handle these rhinos very easily, especially if you have your forever pot. If you don't have your forever pot, I would highly suggest getting some extra large healing pots, putting them in your one slot, and just getting ready to spam them. And then in your off time in between trying hunting, go and get your forever pots. They are such a wonderful thing to have in the game, and they just make everything that much more easy. So that's kind of my in-depth look of getting started with hunting and what to look for and what to do with hunting. If you have any questions, any comments, if I missed something, if you think the video really kind of, I blew it and I need to re-record it, I'm more than happy to hear your feedback. Like and subscribe. Let me know what else you're looking for in Black Desert, and we'll look for you on the next video. Have a great day.